Hi friends, and welcome back to a ship with me. I have been on a beach vacation to the Outer Banks for the last entire week, and I have a bunch of things that have sold from that week, which we're going to talk about. So of course I figured I would bring you along with me. I have to get everything packaged up. I didn't count them, but I have this many sales that we need to get through. Also, it's like a hot mess. We got in late last night, which was a Saturday. We have Sunday to do laundry and recoup and do meal prep, and I finally showered and put my hair up and then just took it down. So it's literally just going to be drying frizziness throughout this video. So I hope you will bear with me. If you are new here, my name is Maria and I'm a part-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark. And yeah, we have a bunch of eBay and Poshmark sales to ship out. Now, if you're wondering how that happens when I am on vacation for a week, that's a great question. So what this is going to be, I turned my stuff kind of off Saturday morning. So the previous Saturday to when we got back yesterday. I turned my Poshmark completely off until about, I think it was Thursday I turned it back on, because I'll be able to ship things out on Monday. So I figured that was a good enough window. I usually ship, next day for Poshmark, but I don't have to. And then eBay, I had on vacation delay, or shipping delay with vacation mode, time away mode. So that was my eBay. You could still purchase from my store the entire week. It just wasn't going to ship out until I have it set until Monday. Then I turned my eBay store completely on just yesterday, so Saturday morning. So a few sales have trickled in. A few things did sell while I was on vacation mode throughout eBay through the week, which was fantastic. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. And then I've had a few sales today also. I'm happy to report I have some bulky things, like some hanging things, a couple shoes, one really good purse that have sold. I have a whole bag of clothes that I have already grabbed out of my inventory downstairs. So let's get going. I'll talk you through my shipping process. If you are new to my Ship With Me videos, also, if you can see, I am peeling everywhere. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, we got a lot of sun. So my husband and I were joking earlier that thankfully we're not criminals, because if we were, our DNA would be all over the crime scene. On the way home, we were just shedding all over my car. I need to vacuum and detail my car because it's just full of stuff. Anyway, you didn't need to know that. That was probably TMI. So let's dive right into it. The first thing, this one actually sold today, you might recognize because it was a Thriftsmith in July sale. And it is this really beautiful Jude Connolly, athleisure dress. It sold today. I did send out my normal Sunday 30% off offers to likers on Poshmark. So it sold with that. I think I had it listed for 45 and somebody scooped it up for 31. So that's a great deal on this. I got it at Goodwill during Thriftsmith. My average cost of goods is $7.39. And so I made $15.09 on this. Of all the things, I didn't write down how long this was listed, but it's the 20th of July, and I bought this midway through Thriftsmith, so it's only been listed maybe a week or two. This sold on Poshmark, so all of my Poshmark items you are going to see going out in the priority mail. Shipping packages, there is no need, in my opinion, to pay for packaging when you can get it free from USPS. So I just use these mailers for most everything you're going to see in Poshmark. I've never had any issues. I don't double seal them with tape. I think it's just a waste of packaging, and I have literally never had an issue in the hundreds or thousands of items I have shipped out. Okay, the next one was these fun Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren men's sleep pants. So really pretty color. I picked these up at Goodwill. I think I have them. They weren't in Thriftsmith, but I think I featured them in a haul at some point recently. I only spent $3, maybe $3.75 on them. And I got an offer today for $20. These little sleep shorts or pants do seem fairly saturated. I didn't even comp them in store, to be honest, but I knew they would sell. And they did. So I got them at Goodwill. My average cost of goods that day was $4.39. These also sold on Poshmark. They were only listed for 78 days, and I made $11.61. My Goodwills usually always mark up any sort of Ralph Lauren. They just really have a thing for it. So these were standard sleepwear price. And I still made, $11 on them. Okay, next I also featured in a recent haul, and it was this Dickies quilted jacket. Really good condition. It is kind of a puffer, but it's not down of any sort. I had this down on my death pile for a while. I just needed to get it listed, and it sold on Poshmark today for $24. Somebody also scooped it up with a 30% off sale. Got it at Goodwill retail. My average cost of goods was $5.81. It's only listed for 46 days, so it sold quickly, and I made $11.07. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to ship this in. I think I'm going to use one of these medium flat rate. You can use any of the flat rates with Poshmark shipping, and some of these are just nice sizes. You do have to they're not self-sealing, the flat rates aren't, but it doesn't take me long to put one piece of tape on the top and one piece of tape on the bottom. Then I'm just going to put in my piece of paper, give it a nice little fold. Dickies has some really good high quality materials. I don't grab it all the time at my Goodwills just because it's not always worth paying that price, but I'm happy that this one did sell quickly. It's obviously a bit bulkier than my everyday items too. So I'll put my thank you sticker in. Looks like that. And get this one sealed up also. I just put my son to bed next door, so I'm sure he's hearing this. He is for sure not asleep yet. But for all we know, he's listening to us, so. Okay, and we'll get this on. That was also obviously Poshmark. Since I'm using a flat rate, I would never, ever, ever use flat rate if I'm shipping something on eBay. Like, I don't think I ever have. All right, my hair is gonna be driving me nuts. I'm so sorry. Okay, the next thing. This is a, like, I had to humble myself to accept this. This was the most recent thing that sold. This is a little Betsy Johnson, like as basic can get. If I were shopping Goodwill today, I would not pick this up for sure. There is some Betsy Johnson that I would still pick up, but like cute patterns, vintage, this is a no-go. I just accepted an offer for $15. I originally probably had this for like $50 or $60. Like, I did not know what I was doing with pricing, and I've been slowly dropping it. So it was still listed for $40, and she had gotten like my 10% offer, my 30% off offer, my 35% off offer a couple weeks ago, and then she just offered me $15. And I was like, whoa, no way. And then I was like, Maria, put your emotions aside, have some humble pie. I double checked. This item had been listed for 620 days. I also saw that my average cost of goods at Goodwill the day I bought this was $8.40, which also hurts. But I accepted the offer. It's been listed for 620 days. No one wants this, and I might as well get my money back. So I made $3.60. I did get to wear it first. It is my size-ish, so I wore it to work first, but I am needing to move it along. That's like almost 2 years, so why wouldn't I just accept the offer, move along? I apparently got 2 mailers sticking together. Okay, next one is really cute item. Let me find it. Let me just dump. Okay. Oh, a couple of them came out. All right, this one I'm just going to take out and show you and then wrap because I feel like this deserves it. I also featured this in a haul recently. Look how cute this vintage little denim Karen Scott vest is. It's got all these kitties. It is clearly like Halloween themed, and it's sold in the middle of July. So don't sleep. I'm sorry if you could see the like hair that was attacking me. Shedding. Okay. This sold on eBay full price because I was running my typical 20% off offer. So I listed it at $45 and then I listed it at $45. It was available for $36 with my 20% off offer, and somebody purchased it. This was getting all kinds of attention on eBay and on Poshmark, so I knew it was going to sell. And I got it at Goodwill. My average cost of goods was $7.96, and it was only listed for 17 days. And I made $22.34 in the middle of July for a cat Halloween denim vintage vest. Quirky sells, quirky sells. Don't forget that. Trust your gut on some of the quirky stuff. I need to do that more often. That's something I'm taking away from this sale, is sometimes I leave behind quirky because I don't know the brand, or I'm worried that no one will like it, or it's not personally my taste. So I'm like, why would somebody else like this? I need to do better at all of those things. Okay, this was an eBay sale, so we're going to put it in one of our eBay mailers. I do use my eBay store subscription credits to get all of the eBay supplies that you're seeing. And since I have a fairly large store, I have $50 a quarter that I can now spend on shipping supplies. I usually put my label on first, but I forgot because I was talking, as happens. Let's hope I don't mess anything up. If I do, tell me down in the comments. Okay, next is another item. There's a few in here that have been listed for a really long time, and I am not here to make myself look any better, because I want you to learn from my mistakes, and I need to learn from my mistakes. These are a pair of Citizens of Humanity jeans. So the Sid style. Citizens of Humanity typically does pretty well, so I was actually pretty excited when I found these. And these just did not. Again, maybe I had them listed too high, but I got a $30 offer on these, and I took it. So over on Poshmark, I got them at a Goodwill retail store. My average cost of goods was $7.19, but these had been listed for 529 days, and I made $16.81. And they were just kind of like a men's straight, like classic style. I don't think they were necessarily out of style. They aren't blue. So gray and black is historically harder to sell. I am presuming that's why they took so long. But I mean, I did still make almost $20 in profit, so I can't get too mad about that, I guess. Okay, speaking of things that have been listed forever, this is a baby Tahari. Here's the little baby Tahari tag that I found at the bins. And again, this, if you watch my Ship With Me's, is one of the older bags. That's how I know how old it is. And yeah, I picked this up at the bins for some reason. I thought it would sell. I was like, oh wow, Tahari. I don't even pick up Tahari like grown-up stuff very often anymore. And so when I got a $7 offer on eBay this week, I took it. I absolutely took it without hesitation. I got it at the bins for an average cost of goods of 99 cents. And it's gonna fit. I don't think it's gonna fit in my little flamingo. No, it'll be a bit too big. This was listed for, are you ready for this? 1,098 days. It's not a Maria Ship With Me if we're not shipping out something that's listed for over 1,000 days. Do as I say, not as I do. I made $4.14. If you are a loyal follower of the channel, you probably remember my top 100, that like I have all of my items on a spreadsheet, and the top 100 of those are the oldest listed items, obviously. So I'm always like, yeah, I had a top 100 sale. This is not, but it is a runner-up. It was number 125. So I have 124 items that have been listed for over 1,098 days, which is just embarrassing. But I am here to admit all the things for you guys. I am a part-time reseller. If I was a full-time reseller, I might do this differently. I might cull my inventory more often. I might pull things out. I might use buy-sell trade stores more in my business, because I would have the time and capacity and bandwidth to do so. I don't as of right now. As a part-time reseller, full-time, normal job, 2 kids, house, pet, husband, all the things. But I do at least relist my items on both Poshmark and eBay. I have the capacity to store things for a long time in my unfinished basement. So for me, it is working. And as you can see in this stack, I've had quite a few things that have been listed for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that's a strategy that you will want to mimic, but they are still sales coming in. So I don't necessarily want to give that up. Okay, the next thing we have are a bundle. So I bundled these together into one listing, and they fell out of the bags when I dumped them out. So I'm just kind of refold them. But it is a bundle of 3 golf pillows, and this was from my 50-cent sale that I went to. So each one of these was 50 cents. Now, when I type them into my inventory, whatever listing it is, that is my cost of goods. So even though these were each technically 50 cents, in my cost of goods, the bundle is 50 cents, and the other 50 cents got, you know, worked into something else in my cost of goods. But these 3 things, one is a Callaway and 2 are Lady Hagen. One's an extra small and 2 are smalls. I did end up bundling them together. I was considering what I was going to do in the video. I did bundle them together, and somebody offered me, I think I had them maybe listed for like 45 or so. Somebody offered me $30, and I did take that. I know it sounds crazy to say, we're moving out of summer as it relates to reselling. So I'm already starting to think about fall. I'm already starting to want to move out my summer items. Not that they won't sell in the other seasons, but they're more likely to sell in summer. So golf items sell best in spring. So we're already almost 2 seasons past that. So yeah, I got these at a local thrift store. My average cost of goods in my cost of goods was 50 cents for all 3. They were only listed for 115 days, and I had made $23.50 on these 3 items. Okay, so I just wrapped all 3 of them together. We're going to put them in a Poshmark mailer. And yeah, so I mean, for 3 things, that's what, $10 a shirt, plus they got like combined shipping for 3 items. So great little deal, great sale for me. And yeah, those are 3 things that individually I probably would have passed. They might not be worth listing or selling, but together they had a little bit more value. Okay, this was a good one. This is K. Unger, and it is like a cocktail dress. I've had a few K. Unger things, and I'm always a little wishy-washy on this brand, but what I found is it tends to sit, but if I'm patient, sometimes if I lower the price a little bit, they do sell, and they typically sell decently well. This one ended up selling on Poshmark for $36. That was, I think, a 10% off offer that was sent to a liker. I got this at a consignment store that had like a dollar rack on the outside, probably stuff that wasn't selling in their store, so they have a rack up front that they put for $1. So I grabbed it for $1 from that store. It was listed for 276 days though, so again, it can take a little bit longer, but I ended up making $25.48. I had something else from K. Unger sell a week or 2 ago, and same thing. It took a little while to sell, but then it sold decently well. I think I have 1 or 2 other things listed from this brand right now, so I'm going to keep an eye on it and see how it does. Okay, this is another one I'm really happy to get out of my inventory. This is a brand that if you watched my brands I'm not buying anymore at Goodwill, this is on that list. This is Aster the label, and it is just the most basic of coral tanks. I had seen other resellers picking up this brand, and so when I found it at a garage sale, I was all excited. And nowadays I see it all the time, and I'm never excited and I never pick it up. But I did pick it up at that garage sale. Ironically, when I was typing that Betsy Johnson sale into my inventory, I like to see what else from that specific haul hasn't sold yet. And there's only 1 item from that haul that I did at Goodwill that day, same as the Betsy Johnson day, that hasn't sold, and it's an Aster dress. So take that as you will, but I am not picking this up anymore unless it's like free or at the bins. Like I think I did pick up a really cute Aster top at the swap meet where it was literally free, so I can price it low. Okay, anything on Poshmark that sells small enough that I can fit into this little foldy box, I do, because I like them and I think they're adorable. So yeah, I think I accepted an offer on Poshmark for $15 for this one. Again, I was thrilled. I got this at a garage sale. I have my average cost of goods listed for $0 because I used cash that I liquidated straight from Once Upon a Child. So I took my kids' clothes to Once Upon a Child, and then I liquidated that straight back in to... Why did I just get another sticker instead of the label? I don't know. We'll use that on the next one. And then I liquidate it straight back into a garage sale. So I don't count it as profit and I don't count it as an expense. It all becomes a wash. I do explain this better in a video I will have linked down below. But this was listed for 698 days, but I did end up making $12 on it. I do happen to remember that I paid $2 for it at the garage sale, if you're curious. It is going to California, and I hope it has a nice long life ahead of it. Okay, here is one that I picked up, definitely based on style and material content. These are just April Kiss, whatever that is, but they are a linen blend, like elastic pull-on waist pants. They're really beachy, lag and look natural, all those things. And they sold on eBay for $19.99. I had them listed for $24.99, but with my 20% off discount, they were $19.99 and somebody scooped them up. I got these at that swap meet for $0. I probably wouldn't have paid for these anywhere else. But they were only listed for 137 days and I made $16.54. I do really like picking up linen, especially on these like beachy type pants. They sell really well in summer for me. So when I can get them at a really low cost of goods, I've had success. I forgot to use the sticker that is on my pants, guys. I hope one of you was out there like, use the sticker on your, not my pants, my knee. I'm not wearing pants. Okay. Next is one that actually surprised me. I was excited when I found this and I thought it was going to do much better. And that is these pair of little chubby, like fleecy loungewear shorts. It's got this like fun neon light print. I got this at the same consignment store that I got that Kay Unger dress. It was also out on the dollar racks. It was a different trip though. I found a whole bunch of things on the dollar rack that day. I did it again. I used a new sticker. Anyway, we'll get there eventually. And I also found some stuff in the store. I had my arms like completely full on. It's a really small, it's all like crammed in store. So I checked out, and then as I was walking out, these were on the little kids dollar rack that I kind of flipped through, but I didn't flip through like every single item. And I happened to notice chubbies. So I went back in and paid $1 more for these. And maybe I hadn't ever found chubbies at the time. I've sold it successfully a couple times since finding these. But they've been listed forever. So when I got an eBay offer for $15, I accepted it. I only had the $1 into them. They were listed for 270 days and I made $10.07. I think they're super cute. I hope some guy out there really enjoys them. They're super comfy. Like, I was gonna say I would sleep in these, but I think I would get hot sleeping in fleece, especially fleece shorts. I don't know. Okay, next is a pair of American Eagle shorts. These are men's, just like tried and true khaki shorts. These sold on eBay for $19.99. Also had them listed for $24.99. They sold outright with my 20% off sale. I got these at the thrift store that I do 50-cent days. They were only listed for 56 days and I made $16.80 for them. I apparently am going to forget the sticker on my leg like a million times. Sticker. Let's just keep saying sticker until I remember to use it. Sticker. Okay, the next thing also came out of its bag, but barely. So let's put it back in its bag, use the sticker, and then I will tell you what it is. Sticker. Or else I'm going to go to bed with it on my leg and my husband's going to think I'm crazy. Okay, we have used the sticker. Hopefully that I didn't I'm not peeling right there. I did not send my DNA, hopefully, with this person. Okay, this is an Under Armour, like a lightweight, almost windbreaker rain jacket. I rarely ever pick up Under Armour. Like, it's been a couple years because the Under Armour I did pick up hasn't sold. But anyway, I did pick this up and it sold on Poshmark for $25. I think I had it listed for $35 and I got a $25 offer, which I accepted. It's called the Cloud Strike jacket. It was really substantial and it was a size extra large. I got it at the same thrift store that I do the 50-cent days or the dollar days. But this one, the jackets didn't count towards the 50 cents. So I think I remember spending like $3, $4, $5 or so on this specifically, but my average cost of goods for all the items I picked up that weren't 50 cents was $3.08 on this, and it was only listed for 47 days, and I made $16.92. So I'll keep an eye out for, you know, substantial Under Armour stuff when I'm getting them really cheap. Oh no, my sticker didn't hold, probably because this is a larger item and it was on my leg for too long. And I did shower, so I have lotion on my legs. Okay, I think we got it. The next item is a pair of LL Bean, just like a tried and true pant. I tagged these as hiking, but also like casual, business casual, because they're like a pull-on waist. They're not as typical hiking style as normal. I accepted a Poshmark offer for $18 on these. I think I only had them listed at $25. I got them at the bins for $2.09 in Columbus, Ohio. Not my most recent bins haul though. It was the previous bins haul. I am, for anyone interested or that's been asking about the items from my bins haul, unfortunately I did that haul and then I went on vacation. So I am busy photographing, processing. I am listing items from that haul every single night. So if there's something you are interested in, keep an eye out on my Poshmark and eBay. And if there's something specific, you can always ask me down below. I'll try my best to respond back, letting you know if it's listed or not. Okay, these were Poshmark, so let's get a mailer. I have all of my more complicated shipping stuff at the end here, so you get to see how we handle all of this. Okay, the next one is a little Jamie and Jack, little like button down. I ran into a garage sale. It was actually like a community sale where everything was set up in like the community center or outside in the parking lot. And this one lady was selling a whole bunch of Janie and Jack. So I picked up a few pieces. They were each $1. And then when I got home, I realized this one had a really light discoloration that I wasn't able to get out. So obviously I photographed it, disclosed it. And so when I got a $15 offer on this, I was like, yes, please. I don't like having the stained stuff sticking around longer than needed. So $15, spent $1 on it from that garage sale. It was only listed for 29 days. And I ended up making $11 on it. Get this off to a cute little guy. It's a size 5. I thought about just keeping it for my son. Like if it hadn't sold, that's probably what I would have done. But I just decided to try it and off it goes. Okay, let's get some of my other items here. The first one is this really pretty Ralph Lauren belt. It is new with tags. It's still got the price tag here with the Macy's return sticker on it. It is a size 34, and if you watched my theater sale, it was really cool. There was a theater company doing a liquidation of one of their warehouses for all of their costumes and props, and I picked up a whole bunch of belts because a lot of the stuff there was priced up more than I was able to purchase for resale, but the belts were all $1. So I picked up a lot of belts, including a lot of Fossil belts, and they've started selling. So I have sold probably half of them. This person, I had this one listed higher because it's Ralph Lauren, and actually the comps on Ralph Lauren belts are higher than I expected. I had it listed for $45 since it was brand new. It's been listed for a little while. Others have sold, and this one wasn't getting any attention. So I think they offered me $15, and then we countered back and forth. And I eventually landed on $20 with this eBay buyer. Only spent $1 on it. It was listed for 80 days, and I made $15.21 on this belt. Yeah, I've had a really good return on those items from the theater sale. Some of the first few items to sell sold really, really well, and others are still slowly trickling in. All right, what is next? Next is this little hat. This was my son's, and I tend to list these little bucket hats for not much because people buy them because they're just a staple in the summer. You can't always find them when you need them, and I take a lot of my other kids' stuff to Once Upon a Child, but they don't buy hats like this, so I couldn't do that. This I've had listed forever though. So it's a really weird brand. It's called Zucchini. There's a little logo. And yeah, Zucchini. It does have UPF 50 in it. But yeah, hopefully this is going out to a cute little kid. And it eventually sold with the 20% off offer on eBay for $7.99. But I was thrilled with that. And I mostly list these types of things to rescue them, because if I were to donate it to a Goodwill, it'll probably just end up in the bins and end up in a landfill. So that's more of why I list these. It was personal use. I had $0 into it. I'm pretty sure I got it through like a free something or other at some point. I did not pay for this. And it was listed for 565 days though, but I did make $6.19. So that's good. All right. This was eBay. This also sold like at the beginning of the week when I had my shipping delay on. Actually, I always, when somebody buys something, like I had a few items sell on Saturday, like literally the day I put on my vacation hold, so it wasn't coming off for over another week. And I usually have at least 1 or 2 people when I do this that angrily message me like, why hasn't my item shipped yet? And I'll answer something to the tune of, as you can see in my store, and when you purchase your item during checkout, my store is currently on a vacation delay mode with delayed shipping, and it will ship out on and I'll put the date. This person just said thanks, noted. That he didn't seem angry. He was just wondering, hey, when will this ship? But every once in a while you'll get somebody be like, that's not okay, and like cancel it. I didn't have any of that this time, so I'm pleased with that. Okay, the next item, little story time, is a really pretty fossil bag. It's got like the key, it's got the keeper stuff on it. I sold this once on eBay. Here's the keeper. And they sent it back saying item not as described, saying that it was like faded on the inside, which I don't know what they're talking about. I clearly listed the pictures. It looks very nice. They probably just didn't like the bag and whatever. So it came back to me, and I am usually really good about making sure that items are immediately relisted. But somehow this one slipped through, and a few months back I realized it was not relisted. So I relisted it, and it finally sold again. When things have been returned to me, either because I did something wrong, or especially when somebody's claiming I did something wrong when I know I didn't, or even just when things are like for fit, which is perfectly fine, I offer that. I don't like them being in my possession again. It's just an annoyance in a business, and I'm not gonna be able to like seal this on the end. I'm just trying to make it as close as I can because of the shipping that I charged. I can't use a box on this one, and it shipped fine the first time in a bag. I'm sure I'm gonna get some hate comments saying that I should put this in a box. It shipped fine like this the first time, and the person didn't complain about the shipping. They just complained about the bag. Anyway, when something has been returned to me, oh my gosh, I'm making it worse. I kind of just want it out of my life again. So I received a $20 offer on this, and I took it. I think I had it listed for $45, but I just really wanted it out of my life in a new home and with somebody else. So I got this at Prime Thrift for $5.87. It's been listed for the second time since I got it relisted for 105 days, and I made $12.85. Now I do know that since that person claimed I did something wrong the first time, eBay would have charged me shipping to have them return it to me. So that profit technically would be lower. I calculate that differently in my bookkeeping as an expense, not towards the cost of goods for this specific item. But just know that I probably ended up making basically nothing on that. Hopefully this person likes it. It does not come back to me. Okay, next are these really beautiful Kenneth Cole reaction shoes. I never pick up Kenneth Cole, really, to be honest. I don't know if I ever have. Or Kenneth Cole Reaction. Reaction is a diffusion line. But these are absolutely stunning. They are basically brand new. And I got these at the swap meet for $0. If you happen to remember the Marnie, like the bright green leather loafers that I sold for $175, these were with those. So I grabbed them both. I am shipping these in a box. So let's put that together. And they sold on eBay for $32. which I was really happy about. That was actually more than I think I expected them to sell for. Now I'm like, man, should I not be sleeping on this brand? But I also know that they probably sold for that mostly because of the condition. I got them at the swap meet for $0. They were only listed for 64 days, and I made $26.41. And it's an item that I get off of my shoe shelf over here that you see in the background in some of my other videos. Perfect fit. I do also get these eBay boxes from my store supply credits. All right, we'll put the label right on top. All right, we've got 2 more items, and they are the best 2 sales. So let me grab these. Okay. The first one, I stuck it in this box to make sure it would fit because I had to pre-print my, everybody always asks, well, how do you know how much? I do weigh all of my items when I type them in my inventory. So normally when I'm doing my packaging or my, like, prepping my labels downstairs, I have my computer in the room, like the kids are playing, I can just sit there, type all my sales in, get the labels ready, and I'll be like, oh, this item is 6.8 ounces. I need an 8-ounce label. I'll buy the label. I'll write where it's at in the bins, and then later in my inventory bins downstairs. And then later on, I'll grab it and ship it. Something like this, when I have to use a box, obviously I need to put the box dimensions in. So I did look at this ahead of time. This is a heavy cashmere coat, like a men's pea coat. I grabbed this. It's Casper, the brand that says cashmere there. I grabbed this at, here's Casper. Like, I would never pick this up. It's definitely vintage, but I picked it up because it was cashmere. Somebody in my neighborhood did one of those things where they have a garage sale, and then when the garage sale ends, they're like, everything's free, come on by. So I went by, and I didn't go to the initial garage sale, but I went to the free part, and I grabbed this and took it home with me. So it is large, and I am a bit worried because I don't actually know what size it is. And I posted the measurements, and I put the thing that says approximated measurements, please check measurements to ensure fit. It has been listed forever, and I've been dropping the price down. So when I got a $50 offer, I took that on eBay. I had $0 cost of goods into it. It was heavy to ship. I did charge $14.99 for shipping, and I used almost every penny of that. But it was listed for 976 days, probably because I started this over $100 based on the comps I was seeing. And I've been lowering it since then. And it's been sitting in this, or hanging in this closet. But I ended up making $41.88. Here's really hoping that this doesn't come back for fit. I know that's a possibility. Fingers crossed that they did look at the measurements and that the size I estimated is accurate. This might need more than one piece of tape. We'll see. All right, looks good. All right, I'm going to take some of these extra Amazon stickers off. I do reuse, as you'll see in this next package, every sturdy box that comes into my house gets shipped somewhere. I really do love reusing packaging, even if it's not, quote, quite as professional as some other sellers. So this is an Amazon box, and it is going off with my eBay. I am going to put one more on this. It's bulging just a bit. Okay, and off it goes. Very happy to get it out of my closet. It's been in there forever. And I just put that label right on top of the other one. Okay, this is my best sale of the week. I'm so thrilled, and it's going through the global shipping program with eBay. It is going up to Canada. So first of all, here's the box I'm shipping it in. This is for Epic Water. You may or may not be seeing collaboration with Epic Water coming up on my channel. I've had them for a little while because obviously I want to try things out before I share them with you. So things have been going well, and stay tuned for that. But for now, we're gonna use the box for shipping. Okay, this is a beautiful, can you tell who that is? Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. This is a Disney loungefly. Now I did pick up this quite a while ago. I had it priced really high because I wasn't seeing comps for this. It does have the crossbody strap already tucked inside of here. Disney loungefly can sell really well, and the unique rare ones can sell really, really well. Since I was not seeing any of these available, I priced it pretty high. I've dropped it once or twice a little bit, and Goodwill missed this. If, like, even the lady at checkout, I thought she was gonna take it from me and not give it back, because as she was scanning it, like when she flipped it over and she saw the loungefly, she was like, oh. Like, I could see the wheels turning in her head, like, oh, we shouldn't be selling that. Like, that should be sent to Shop Goodwill, or that should have been marked up, because I think they had it for $12 or so. And I just, like, took it and put it in my cart, because she had already scanned it. So I was like, that's mine. But anyway, I got an eBay. No, I don't remember if it was an offer or if it sold with 20% off sale. One of the two of those. This sold for $92 while I was on vacation mode. I got it at Goodwill. My average cost of goods that day was $4.15. It was listed for 289 days, but I ended up making $76.82 just on this one item while I was on vacation. So I'm thrilled about that. I'm trying to decide how I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna put this right like that, and then I'm gonna put the fill in. I don't need this much stuff. And then we'll put our sticker on the top, and it should be safe off to Canada. Okay. Figure out how this box closes, get her taped up. Love it. Let's see. Tape completely over this because I don't want any water to come in the top. I've still never had any complaints about my shipping on any platform, but I always get plenty of criticism on my ship with me's, and a lot of positivity too. But you're not a YouTuber if you're not getting a little bit of criticism in your comments. So, okay, that is all set. Let me just put this on top so they don't miss it. And that is it. Okay, how are we doing on time? Ooh, we've been here for a little while. Yeah, I'm gonna get these all gathered up and off to the post office tomorrow. Back to reality, back to work, back to school, back to daycare. Actually, my daughter's not in school. She's in camp right now. She's going to an adventure camp with like high ropes and water tubing and all kinds of fun stuff this week. And I like seriously want to play hooky and go with her. I'm so jealous. Like in college, I was a camp counselor in the summer, so I was a counselor for those types of camps, and I spent my whole summer doing it. It was so much fun, but I am so excited for her. It's not a sleepaway camp. She's just going, it's a day camp for the entire week, but I'm so very excited. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope this was fun. I hope you learned a little bit about my shipping, and I hope you are having wonderful sales. Let me know down below. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.